for the evening, I'd like to say a few things. First of all, I'd like to take some moment to thank several people. First of all, the administration here at Hamilton Southeastern Junior High and in the district in general is very supportive of the performing arts, and we are so glad that's the case because that is what allows us to do the things you've seen tonight. So can we give our administrators a big hand? Mr. Ivey, Mr. Mann, thank you so much. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank, of course, our parents and our stakeholders who are here tonight. Your support is what keeps these kids going. I know a lot of times it's probably hard to get them to practice, even when we ask them to, but your continued pushing of them to do the best they can is what produces this great stuff. So thank you so much for your support of the orchestra program. I also want to take a moment now to speak about a person who's getting ready to leave us. Ms. Wallace, would you come out here? Kelly Wallace, like I said, is a student teacher from IU, and so she has now finished her student teaching placement. She's actually here. This was her last major event with us. She's been here since the beginning of August, the beginning of school, and she has done a phenomenal job. It has been almost really like having a co-teacher here. So I don't look at her as a student teacher anymore. I look at her as a colleague and as an equal. And so, Ms. Wallace, you're going to be a fantastic teacher. I'm so proud of you. Can we give her a big hand, ladies and gentlemen? All right, we are going to end with one of my favorite pieces, narrated by one of my favorite people. Marc, would you come on up here, please? A good friend of mine, Marc Mullins, who works for RTV6 in Indianapolis, has been doing this for, I think this is year number 4 or 5. I'm not sure which. Either one. But he is kind enough to come up and narrate this for us this evening, so we're going to end this evening with "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
"'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash. Tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted,
"Yo, reindeer!"
and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, O Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew. With a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed in all fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled. And his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow. And the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and the twist of his head soon gave me the know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, and then turned with a jerk. And laying his finger aside his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney, he rose. He sprang to his sleigh to give his team a whistle. And away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard him explain, ere he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.